I don't think it's possible to create a separation without having it manifest some way in the present, okay? So, so when I interact with her, you know, love is to break the wall down and treat her like really as though she has the same condition that I have. The minute I put up some kind of a difference and I assert a difference, which is unfortunate because our entire society is predicated on this major difference between partners, between people and genders and racial difference and all these other differences. As soon as I put that, it has to manifest somehow in my mind, in the way I approach the person. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been thinking that love is the choice to not do that. But it's a choice. It has to be a choice, you know? When two people get together to operate from that, rather than to use power one way or the other. And I'm going to say straight up, it's not just male to female. The power is, there's power. We each have power in our situation. So it's like, you know, it's the difference between communicating and manipulating, which is sometimes a subtle thing, you know. Love is to work really hard to avoid manipulating. It's an acceptance of myself, an acceptance of the other person in their fullness, which means the same, because we are the same. We're both infinitely complex beings. Like, you're just one manifestation. I'm a certain manifestation of you. You're a manifestation of me. I'm the version that was born in Guadeloupe and ended up in Brooklyn and ended up out here in DC and out to Baltimore. Like, this is me, but you are beautiful and interesting, and you have a unique manifestation. So, you know, one of the most pernicious phrases or ideas ever was like separate but equal, right? There's no such thing. There's no such thing. As soon as there's a separation, there is a difference. It will be manifested somehow. And of course, we know the ways that it was manifested in that instance, in that moment in American history. But that principle, I think, is inherent in every interpersonal relationship at every level, from the wife, husband, brother, sister, community, the organizational stuff, you know. Oneness is dropping the difference and and accepting the truth of the oneness. And that's love, you know. But it's pretty interesting because I think there's another flip side to it. This is the paradox part. Like, we're all different. And so there's a version of this oneness principle that if you take it, like, all right, well, we have to, you know, there's a version of that can fail to appreciate distinction and can sort of seek to subdue distinction and can, like, penalize distinction. And, you know, everybody should be in a uniform. Everybody should walk this way or look this way. You start to come up with ideals and ways of, like, asserting it. This is just how it works. And I think, so the other part is to recognize and respect distinction and create the conditions where the oneness also embodies distinction and respects distinction. Even as we're one, the distinctions between me and you are insane, you know? We're so, again, the stuff we breathe, our lungs, we pump out blood through all these different cells, you know, our brains are interpreting stuff, we feel pain, we can hear with the senses, we do so much stuff without even thinking about it. And each of us do these things differently. Each of us, like, some of us have allergies, some of us have, you know, different, well, I don't know, bone densities and conditions that are so vast in scope and broad, you know, that if we took deeply if we analyzed ourselves all the way down, we would see just how completely complex and odd and rare and unique and individual we all are, you know? Completely rare and individual. You are the only person like you. And so that's the paradox, because we're both one and we are intensely not one. It comes back. It's a loop. And to accept that, the way that these differences have been manifested in society, these differences in terms of skin color, in terms of biological sex and gender, which I think is an overlay of that, these inflection points, these choices to highlight and inform our societal structures and norms around these things was contrived. It was picked. They picked it from all the billions of things, you know? But we're all the same, okay? We're all the same. And we're different. And it's beautiful. So I want to say the anxieties that we have around race and gender and all of these things, it's not real. The anxiety is related to the story that was created so many years ago that we've inherited and passed down from pain and suffering, and also through just the teachings and the norms, as we navigate the pain and the suffering. Love is pulling all that down and walking away from that.